Yeah. Uh-huh.
About some foot stomping, hand clapping church this morning.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours and not as vagabonds. I thank you for the standard of moving, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You, O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. I'm so glad that you joined me on today, you all. It is Tuesday. Can you believe that? April the 18th in the year 2023. And I tell you what, it's a good day to be alive. As we always say, it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. Now listen, I'm so glad for each of you that tuned in on this first day of the week for Yes, You, O Cubed. I appreciate you for getting up early in the morning. Yes, it's early in the morning, but we opened our eyes. We had the activity of our limbs. We got up out of our beds. And for those of you that are still lying in your beds, you have the ability to move your eyes and see. You have the ability to hear. Listen, it's a blessing. And I hope that you receive it as just that on this morning. Now, it's a blessing to me that you're here. Yes, it is, because you didn't have to be here. You could have been anywhere, but you're here with me this morning. Let's get this party started and get it crack-a-lacking, because you know how we start. Yes, we like to go and see who's in the VIP section. And I want to thank those that came in this morning. These beautiful viewers, we like to explain it like this. It's a friendly competition to see who can bring all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness to the Lion's Den. That's what the race is. That's what the competition is. It's to make sure that when we get here at 7 o'clock, the room is already permeated with the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness that these babies bring into the Lion's Den. And I appreciate them for that. I absolutely positively do. So let's get started with that, because the fourth person in the room, yes, security came in. Security came in and took good care of us. None other than our very own, yes, truck driver. I appreciate you, sir. There's nobody like you. And he makes sure, he always does. I got too many folk up there. He always makes sure that there's security in the house. He said, let me bring a thunderclap just in case somebody thinks they're going to scare us up in here. He brought Shelly Thunder with him this morning. Thank you, truck. That's my guy. That's my Mufasa. Yes, it is. And I love me some him until 10 toes up. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning was, let me go to the third. I done got excited and got ahead of myself, y'all. I done got excited and got ahead of myself. Now, let's look and see. Let me scroll back up here. Let me scroll real quick. Scroll and roll. Yes, the third person into the Lion's Den this morning was none other than Sassy Cassie. Come on in here, sis. I'm so happy for you, and thank you. There she is, y'all. That's my beautiful sister right there. I love me some her. She is so beautiful, and I call her my poet laureate here in the Lion's Den, because she comes in bringing the poetry. She's going to give you a rhyme in time before the day is over. I promise you she will. And I love me some Cassandra Isaiah, otherwise known as Sassy Cassie Slide and Glide. I love me some you. Come on in here, sis. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning was none other than, you know what? I think I did those backwards, but that's okay. Y'all gonna love me anyway. The second person, who was really the third person, I think that's right. Let me come up, y'all, because listen, when I get to reading and checking all this out, child, they do the conversation over here. They go forth. The saints go forth. Oh, no. I'm right. Thank you, Regina. You're right this morning. The second person in the Lion's Den this morning is none other than Queen Shauna. You did that. Come on in here, sis. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Yes, my beautiful sis came in. So much mad love to you, and I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning. And listen, y'all was on that 12 o'clock. Y'all were all over it, just all over it. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair, listen, I want you to give it up for KK79. Yes, KK. KK79, you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Get your lips, get your hips, and get your fingertips right on in that chair. And let me show you, this is the way KK came in when she realized she'd won that chair. Check her out, check her out. She said, this is the way I'm coming in here, y'all. This is the way. KK79, you better do your thing, girl, because you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. I love it, KK. I just absolutely love it. Yes, I love y'all. I really, really do. I really, really do. Yes, I do. That's the way they came in this morning, and I love it. And listen, they get up, like I said, at the crack of midnight, and they are scrambling for that chair. I appreciate you all. I really, really do. I'm telling you, it invigorates me when I come into the VIP section and see the camaraderie, the love, the laughter, the fun that you guys are having over there. It just blesses me every time I take a look at it. Now, you know where we go from here. I got to give it up for my moderators. Yes, you know I have the best moderators in the world, and here we go. Shelly Thunder. Yes, Shelly Thunder is my prophetess. Yes, she is. She'll give you a word. She'll give you a word in season. She'll give you a prayer if you need it, and she'll pray you through. I see that mod love BTD mom. I see that mod love Queen Shauna. I see that mod love KK79. I see that mod love Yoshi Son 77. I see that mod love, and they definitely deserve it. Now listen, I'm going to hope and pray that I don't see Shelly Thunder in this chat because she's on vacation. Yes, she's on vacation. And I tell you what, even on vacation on yesterday, I saw her coming in the streams to moderate. I said, child, listen, I want you to enjoy yourself. But I'm telling you, she's faithful. She's faithful over a few things, as God is going to make her ruler over many. She's faithful. I told her, listen, get your lips, hips, and your fingertips and sit down somewhere, sip on something nice and cool and refreshing, and enjoy your vacay and come up out of these here Twitch channels trying to mod. But nonetheless, she still may show up. I'm telling you, that's just the way she rolls. She still may show up. But listen, that's the prophetess. Then we have the Ace Boon Coon, the leader of the pack, my day one, my number one, none other than the Rebel Inc. Yes, that's the Rebel Inc. I see that mod love SK8843. I see that mod love Queen Shauna. I see y'all going at it. The Dream Team, I absolutely love them, and they will block your tail. Don't play the fool, Shauna. Don't play the fool, because they'll shut you down. They will do it. Yes, the leader of the pack, that is my girl, the Rebel Inc. She is a streamer, and as I often say, if you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways, because she's going to bless your whole entire life. So much love to her. And we appreciate her giving leadership in the mod section in the Lion's Den. Then, of course, we got the third part of the Blessed Trinity, the Quiet Storm. Yes, the Quiet Storm. That's my girl. That is none other than Michelle Browno. She's my angel, y'all. She's my angel. She changes the atmosphere just by coming in the room. Michelle. Yes, it just seemed apropos, Michelle. It just seemed like it fit you, because you definitely will change the atmosphere. Come on with those angel's wings. You better. KK79 got something for everybody, y'all. I love you, KK. I just love you, because you come over. She got the angel floating. She got the angel flying. She got the angel in the Lion's Den, who is none other than Michelle Browno. This is my Blessed Trinity, and I love all three of them. I absolutely, positively do. Please believe it, and don't mess with my girls, because listen, y'all have me out there scrapping. Y'all have me out there singing. Everybody was kung fu fighting. I want to say good morning to you, because as my mother said, when you come in the room, speak to somebody. Yo, Yoshi Son 77, I see you and good morning to you. Chopper 242, hey and good morning to you. Mad love to you and welcome to the Lion's Den. So much mad love coming to you. Michelle Browner was actually on time this morning, y'all. Can you believe it? She was on time. Chopper 242, come on through here. I see you. There's my Yoshi Son 70. Yes, and Yoshi Son 77, thank you for that. My mods helped me out. He is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Yoshi Son 77, quit your wicked ways and go out there and follow my brother, because he will bless your whole entire life. So much mad love to you, and thank you for being in here. And again, Chopper 242, I want to appreciate you for being in the Lion's Den this morning, and once more and again, a hearty and a warm welcome to you. Dr. Dady Priest, the high priestess, is in the room, y'all. The high priestess is here because engagement matters. Please believe it. Yes, Dr. Dady Priest is a streamer, and if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest and learning how engagement matters, quit your wicked ways, because Dr. Dady Priest, she is a whole vibe and a whole blessing. She will bless your soul, and good morning to you, my dear sister. Coming on down, and I'm seeing who else is in the room. Truck driver, that's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King. Listen. That's my guy that takes us through on Thug Life Devotions every Sunday morning at 7 o'clock in the a.m. Central Time. Listen, and y'all know how I do it with Truck. Tell 10 toes up. That's my brother, and I love me some him. Good morning to you. Coming on down, and SK8843 is in the room, along with Sheila Miles out there in YouTube as well as Facebook. I appreciate you, sis, and nothing but mad love coming to you. That's my big sister, but not to be confused with my biggest big sister. And they're both beautiful, bodacious black women, and I love me some you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and come on in here and make yourself at home. Come on in here, let me see this. Rickarakawa, and help me if I pronounced it wrong, but I'm so glad for you, and aloha to you as well. So glad to have you in the midst. Thank you for coming into the Lion's Den this morning. And I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at that beautiful, beautiful picture of that beautiful dog. Love me some you, and aloha. And I see angels flying with you too. Coming on down, and I see Queen Shauna's 21. Come on in here, my lovely one. Nothing but mad love to you. You're in the house this morning. Put on your crown. Put on your robe. Tell the story. Listen, because I'm here to tell you that you've made it over, and this is just the beginning of great days. Good morning to you. Coming down, and who else is in the room? I'm checking it out, and I'm looking who came in the basement while I was upstairs. Who else but my biggest big beautiful sister, BTD Mom. Good morning to you, and nothing but mad love to you, sis. Nothing but mad love. Get your coffee cup out. KK Michelle is in here, y'all, and I appreciate you, because also I see you in Facebook. I see you, KK79, in Twitch, and I appreciate you for holding up the platform, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in the room. Oh my Lord, it's my dearest friend, Fairly All Day, is in the house, y'all. She's in the house. There's my friend. There's my confidant. You better come on in here, Fairly All Day, and do your thing. Good to see you this morning, and I hope that you're careful out there on those highways and byways as you're traveling. Come on and twerk and work while you lurk out here in these here streets. Nothing but mad love to you, sis. Nothing but mad love. Coming on down, and I'm seeing who else is in the room. Excuse me. Who else is in the room? Did anybody else come in the basement while I was upstairs? Because I want to try to get as many of you. I really want to get all of you. And if I've missed anybody up to this point, please, please, please chalk it up to my eyeballs, because I didn't see you, but I'm glad you're here. Empress Empress Meow 4 is in the room. So much mad love to you. Come on through here and let's have a chit chat this morning. It's always a blessing to see you in the Lion's Den. Crazy Berrytown. Good morning to my beautiful sister. Yes, Crazy Berrytown. That's my sis right there. Yesterday we had some Zumba. Did she not Zumba us to Zion? She did do it. Listen, I love me some her, and she is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because I'm here to tell you she will bless you. I'm telling you she will. Yeah, she's going to give you chit chat and a sip. She's going to give you Zumba to Zion, and baby, I'm telling you, there's nobody like Crazy Berrytown. If you're not following her, and she's working on that number count right now. So listen, let's help her out. If you're not following her, go out there and follow her right now. Not now, as DJ LV says, not now, but right now. Go out there and follow her. She will bless your whole entire life. I've given all the love to you this morning, Crazy Berrytown. I saw Glenda M.H. Groves in the room. Good morning to you. Nothing but love coming to you. And thank you for coming in the Lion's Den. I'm telling you, YouTube is in the house this morning. YouTube and Facebook is in the house. Y'all better go forth. And thank you so much. Tall Pumps is pumping tall. There's my gorgeous sister from Chi-Town. Good morning to you, sis. And she is the moderator for Woman Unsilenced. And if you're not following Woman Unsilenced, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways. Because listen, I'm telling you, they have teamed up over there. Tall Pumps, you know I love me some you. And it's always a blessing to see you in the house. My Lock Journey, I see you in the house. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in here, and I love me some you. I appreciate you for coming through. And I saw DJ Roll'em 27 on the screen. Good morning to you, and thank you for coming in. Also another streamer that if you're not following, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways. And I want you to go with the flow. I'm going to go on with my mods because, honey, they done took over. Innocent. Innocent. I'm glad to see you this morning. Thank you for being in the house, and nothing but mad love coming to you. Thank you so much. And the Lion's Den just wants to give you all the love up in here. Stirs the Soul. I'm rolling with you, mods. I'm rolling with you. Stirs the Soul is in the house this morning. Nothing but mad love to you. Another streamer in the house that if you're not following, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because Stirs the Soul is going to follow you. I mean, well, it will bless you. Listen, I saw the end. Ramble, you better rush me on to my destiny. You better rush me on to my destiny, because the Lord wanted you to do that for me. Thank you so much, and blessings. Barbara Hardy, my These Are They friend, has just walked in the Lion's Den. So much mad love to you. Listen, Michelle, did she not rush me on to my destiny? Didn't she do it? Didn't she? She said, listen, mother, I need you to speed this up. Barbara Hardy is my These Are They friend. We're looking for a great celebration with them in July the 22nd in the year 2023. You want to be in the house at Friendship Baptist Church. Yes, the good ship called Friendship. It's called to help me. Come on, I appreciate you for that, Rebel. Yes, you want to be in Friendship Baptist Church. Yes. Over there on the Chelsea Boulevard. On the Missouri side, I want y'all to be over there. Thank you for that resub, Michelle Browno. We're building something. Now, listen, we're having a good time in here already. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking, because at the end of it all, listen, we got something to talk about. What had happened was, whilst I slept and slobbered, these are they, SK8843. These are they. And I'm telling you, it's a historic event that's happening. Their 52nd year anniversary. For 52 years, they've been doing this thing. They've been doing this thing called Ministry in Song. And I'm telling you, they're some of the best to have ever done it. If you never heard some singing that will make you just go, honey, they will lift you to the heavenlies. You have not heard These Are They singing. They will take you there. So yes, These Are They in the house, and we're going to be there Yours truly will be emceeing that service, as well as Sister Linda Cofield, who is my mentor and the person that I just love her to death. She and I both will be emceeing that service. We are going to have a great time. We've got talent and people coming from everywhere that are going to be in the house to celebrate These Are They and those 52 years, those 52 awesome years. So listen, I'm telling you, July 22nd in the Good Ship Friendship. Y'all want to be there. You don't want to miss this, because this is going to be a historic event. And I'm telling you, it's going to be off the chains. I am honored to be, for one, I am their spiritual guide. And I'm honored to do that. But I'm definitely honored to be a part of hosting and emceeing that event on that grand night. We're going to have some church. Let me just tell you right now, don't show up at Friendship if y'all don't plan to pick them up, put them down, cry, clap, holler, scream, just go in. If you don't plan to do all of that, just don't even show up. Because listen, we gonna do all of the above, celebrating These Are They singers and their 52 years. Matter of fact, can I stop right now? Let me just go ahead and stop right now. This is for the These Are They singers and 52 years of giving service in the kingdom. $52 years is a long time. These Are They singers. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, I plan to shout from beginning to end. Listen, my feet get light, but this is a premeditated praise. I'm gonna just tell you, here on, what's the date here? April the 18th in the year 2023. Let me just tell you that I'm gonna be, if you ain't never seen STL pick them up and put them down, you wanna be in the building that night, because I'm gonna start at the beginning of the service and I'm gonna shout through the service in its entirety. I'm gonna shout from beginning. Listen, all I gotta do is hear the music to all of my appointed time. Gonna wait till my change come. I don't even need the choir to sing a first note. All I need is Brother Odell Talley. Oh my God, if you've never heard a musician, if you've never heard an organist, the minute Brother Odell Talley starts that intro, I'm just gonna tell you, listen, I ain't no shame in my game. There's no problem with acknowledging what I'm gonna do as soon as I see and hear the intro. This is what I'm gonna do. Hey! I'm gonna pick them up and put them down. Soon as my feet strike Zion. I'm gonna lay down my heavy burden. I'm gonna put on my robe in glory. I'm gonna shout and tell the story. You better ask somebody. Now listen, Rebel, glory is not only over there. For all of y'all that feel like you can't get glory till you get over on the other side. Baby, glory is wherever, glory is wherever I go, because I feel that thing down there in my shondo. Stirs the Soul said he got Episcopalian legs. He got Episcopalian legs and Church of God in Christ feet. Stirs, you ain't got no sense. It's a good bucket fucking morning, Crystal Method. Come on in here. Y'all know how we do it in the Lions Den. To all of my new people in here, to all of the new Lions, listen, we have fun, we laugh, we joke, we praise, we do everything in here. So don't look for it to come one way. We come every direction we can. Come on in here, Crystal Method. It's good to see you this morning. I do want to say this before I go on. He stirs the soul set, and I don't even know what that means. He got Episcopalian legs and Church of God in Christ feet. Listen, Stirs, I'm done. I'm just done. Oh, that was great. That was great. Now, listen, let me tell you, I also want to say this before I get started. Once more and again, last week, the social media platforms that check and monitor the algorithms, to my surprise, I started getting these notifications for different recognitions that I was getting in the arena from social media platforms and my presence out there on the internet. I want to say once more and again to all of you, the viewers that are here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Last week we were in the top 2%. This week y'all put Yes You O Cubed in the 1% category, and I want to say thank you to you. The Rebel Ink said the legs are stiff. That's what that means. Listen, y'all. She's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. I told you she's supposed to be on vacation. Shelly Thunder, good morning to you, sis, and nothing but mad love to you. It's good to see you in the room this morning. I'm telling you, I want to say thank you for the congratulations, KK Michelle, but I want to say this. I want to say once more and again, and this isn't just a matter of me being modest, the algorithms are what it's bringing the recognition and the awards right now and the accolades, because definitely once you start hitting certain levels of algorithm, and I appreciate this because they have now stretched my bandwidth and I'm going out just a little bit further because you all have been coming in and engaging in the channel. I cannot tell you thank you enough. Can I give this up for KK79, also known as KK Michelle? KK Michelle, and this is exactly how we build, because listen, we're building something. KK Michelle has not only been liking the streams, participating and engaging in the streams. KK Michelle is out there sharing the streams on her personal platforms. And that's also what helps us make that algorithm just scream. I appreciate you, KK Michelle. And this applause is for you.
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh, I can't hear it yet because I'm on the wrong screen. Excuse me. This applause is for you. And I just want to say with that, for anybody else that would be so kind and be so inclined for you to share the stream. Now that's a fan. That's a fan right there. And one more time, KK. KK said, I want everybody to know and to benefit from these streams. I appreciate you. That's how this algorithm is climbing. So again, for several of you now who are on multiple platforms, I want to give it up for my sister, Glenda Groves, multiple platforms, SK8843, Anita Harvey, multiple platforms. Several of you are out there now on multiple platforms, the Rebel Ink, Michelle Brown. For all of you guys that are out there on multiple platforms, platforms, I want to say thank you to you. And for those that are willing to share the stream, not just like it and not just engage in it, but to share the stream, I invite you to do that if you'd be so kind and be so inclined. And y'all know I don't normally do this, but this is how we're getting new people that are coming into the Lion's Den, because they're spreading and they're widening that broadband. So I appreciate you once more and again, and I just have to say thank you. Now, let's get this party started. And I'm taking my time today because I've had a weekend, y'all. I've had a weekend. It's been interesting, and yet and still we're here. As always, we are here. I try to be faithful to the call, faithful to the cause, because we're building something, and to build something, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, you got to be instant in season and out of season. What I mean is, when I say that, Rebel alludes to it quite a bit in her stream. There are times when the streamers may be going through different things or whatever the case may be, but we're here because we love what we do. We're here because we love the people and we believe in what we're doing. And so today, I appreciate everybody that's in the Lion's Den. I appreciate your support. I'm gonna lean on y'all for a little energy on today, because I'm like Uncle Joe. I'm moving kind of slow this morning, but we're here now, because even in Kansas City, this kind of aggravates me that we've got this going on right now whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. And I think all of you have probably heard about it by now, but let's talk about this situation right here. Ralph Yarl is going on right now in Kansas City, Missouri. Yes, that's the place that I came from. That is my town. That's my city. Kansas City, can I just say, this is not a good look. That's right, SK8843, say his name, Ralph Yarl. And it's just a blessing of God that we're not talking about rest in peace. This baby has survived this monstrous attack. And at the end of the day, let's have this conversation about my brother. So you have this young individual that was sent by his mother. This upset you to a different level, Queen Shauna. I see you. We have this young black brother with all kinds of promise and all kinds of positivity in his whole entire life. They couldn't dig up any dirt on the brother. Just wasn't no dirt to dig up. The school system came out and began to talk about how he has been such a positive influence. He loves his music, has honors in music, plans to go on and go into the sciences. I mean, everything about this young brother is positive, positive, positive. He goes to go pick up his siblings, and inadvertently, instead of being on 115th Terrace, he ends up on 115th Street. So this young lion has more stories to tell and roars for us to hear. Come on with that. I'm with you on that. Stirs the soul. I'm with you on that. We can't even make a simple mistake. Queen Shauna. Now, so we have, and they finally released a picture. Let me go back and see if I can find that. They finally released a picture of this individual. And can I just go ahead and go here? Because I just, could it be? Could it be? The devil! Baby, this wasn't nothing but that old slimy devil. This wasn't nothing but that old slimy devil. So, this is the thing. It was a long time before they even showed the man's face. It was a long time before they gave us a picture of the man. Because we're getting ready to address how we continuously seem to come here and feel like it's okay for brown and black bodies to be shot down, mutilated, you name it, and it's okay. And as soon as we do something in our brown and black skin, you best assure yourself your picture's going to be plastered all over the place, and they're going to know who you are. It was a long time before they even released Brother Lester's name, much less a picture. Now, there he is. This is the guy that said he feared for his life. I'm so sick of that line. I am so sick of that line. This joker said he feared for his life. The size of this young man, he knew he could not overpower him. Now, listen, this is the size of this young man. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up in racist supremacy. I've got a picture of, well, let me get the picture of my baby up here. But this brother right here shot through the door from where the young man rang the doorbell. Do you understand the words that are coming? So, you're telling me that the ringing of a doorbell was all it took for you to get your gun and start shooting through the door? Just the ringing of the doorbell was all you needed to strike the fear of God. MCP 812, so much mad love to you. There's my cousin, sister, friend, pastor, two Tams. Come on in here. I love you. And the shooter is still not in jail. Now, it's reported to me, the man is not in the state. I heard that he has fled to another location. Tall Pumps, he shot through the door. Now, my understanding is he not only shot through the door, but then went out after he had shot him through the door, went out and stood over him and shot him again. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Not only did we shoot through the door, but went outside as he lay on the ground, as he was lying there, possibly dying for all he knew. Z Lady C, come on in here and good morning to you. So much mad love to you. Now, as the child could have been dying, he shoots him again because he feared for his life. You know, listen, I'm going to do it once more and again, because could it be? Oh my God, I'm telling you, this kind of stuff, you can't even make it up. This kind of stuff, you can't. The devil. Yes, they gave him 2 days to escape out of town, Michelle Brown. They gave him 2 days to get out of Dodge. They gave him 2 days to do it. So at the end of the day, they picked him, or they took him in initially the night of the incident to question him. Now, it's interesting to me that now the media is, instead of saying for questioning, it's now saying for booking, whatever. At the end of the day, the scenario is just as atrocious can be. This man shoots this baby, and this baby was a stellar performing young black lion in school that gets shot because he went to the wrong house. I'm gonna say it again, and this is what caused this man to fear for his life. That doorbell took him out. Too goody, good morning to you. Come on in here, Z Lady C. Come on in here. So much love for y'all and appreciate you for being in the Lion's Den. Listen, he just something about the doorbell. And when he looked outside and saw that big black ominous object of a young man standing out there, something in him knew that he could not subdue this brother, and so he shot through the door. And then went outside and shot him again. Now, this is the interesting thing. There was a neighbor that ended up dialing 911. I read the story of her interview, and she was saying, she said he's a strong brother because listen, and at the end of the day, he's a doorbell racist. Can we say that, Dr. Dady? A doorbell is all you need to strike fear into your heart. Black folks, if we don't start handling these racists accordingly, I hear you, Tall Pumps. At the end of the day, they picked him up. They questioned him from 12 o'clock to about 1 o'clock in the morning and released the man. They released him and let him go. Yes, they did. Now, so understand this. Kansas City has been on the radar, but get this, they said they didn't charge him with a hate crime because the hate crime laws in the state carry a lesser consequence. I read that too. Aren't hate crimes supposed to be federal? Yes, they are. But this is what they came out saying. Stirs the Soul has brought this to our attention, and I read that too. You helping me with the story because I was getting there, but I was moving a little slow like Uncle Joe. But hate crimes carry a lesser punishment. And this is what they came out saying, trying to justify why they weren't going to add the hate crime element to the charges because it's lesser consequence and lesser way. So shouldn't we be wondering why a hate crime is less than just a regular felony? Did you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? This is what they said to try to cover their racist selves. Good morning, Ronzi. Come on in here. Ronzi is a streamer. That's my niecey right there. Come on in here, niecey. So much mad love to you. She is a streamer. And if you're not following Ronzi, quit your wicked ways because she will bless your whole entire life. The foolishness that we have to deal with, Queen Shauna, the foolishness. Now you tell me how a federal hate crime can carry less than a felony. Just a regular old felony. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. This is what they said as to why they did not tack the hate crimes to the situation because the hate crime would make it lesser than the felonies. Could it be? Oh my God. Listen, I'm just trying to help y'all understand the situation because the situation is critical. The devil. When your federal hate crime carries less than a regular you know what? Can we just dissect that for a second? Y'all know that ain't nothing but that old slimy sleuth for the devil. Now, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that hate crime is going to carry less than a felony. Because who are they going to more than likely charge with a felony charge? Black folks. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I'll take it back. Who are they most likely to charge with felony charges? Honey 41, come on in here. Nothing but mad love to you. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in here. I appreciate you. Now listen, so this is the thing. If you're telling me that given a situation, you can get less time for a federal charge, I see you fairly. He can still get the same if convicted. Federal hate crime is 10 to life. He can, and let's underscore and bold italicized can. Will he get it in Missouri as what did SK8843 said? Missouri misery. Missouri misery. Come on in here and make it plain. At the end of the day, who's going to more than likely be charged with a hate crime? And how in the world can you come to a place where a hate crime in your state carries less than a felony? So explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. So at the end of the day, Missouri is misery for real. Listen, Kansas City, Missouri, y'all my city, y'all my town, but this is not a good look because the Popo in Missouri are already under scrutiny for being a racist organization. And I'm not, listen, I'm not out here. Show me. Come on. It's the show me state indeed stirs the soul. Now, this has been an ongoing. More Too is an organization that's out there led by Laura McDonald. Listen, she's out there with her group and they're constantly calling the Popo in Kansas City for filth and the racism and the misogyny for the LGBTQ attacks. Listen, More Too, more power to you. Let me stop and give them a shout out right now. Laura McDonald is all that in a bag of chips. And when they had the former police chief backed up against the wall, and sweating for his life in the job arena. Yes, he did what is always apropos to do in these situations. He retired and went home to collect his pension. So at the end of the day, we got a new police chief. Let's just hear what Mother has to say, because at the end of the day, they said they realize and recognize that there's a racial component. There's a racist component to this shooting of this 16. Do you think there's a racial component? You think there's a racial component? Let's hear what Mother has to say. And, at the end of the day, I almost want to say miss me with that. But anyway, here we go.
Come to TurboTax and
come to TurboTax first.
Don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you, so you can do no taxes.
TurboTax.
What do we want? Justice!
The Kansas City community protesting on Sunday after 16-year-old Ralph Yarl was shot as he was trying to pick up his siblings last week. Police say Yarl accidentally went to the wrong address, where he was shot and seriously wounded by the homeowner. Officers arrived at the scene after a neighbor called 911 and took the homeowner immediately into custody.
Our heart goes out to the juvenile victim, and more than anything, to make sure that this child and this child's family knows that there are people working hard, a number of people working hard, to make sure there is justice for this person.
The homeowner, who has not been identified, was released after 24 hours pending further investigation. The police department says they're waiting to obtain a formal statement from the victim and further forensic evidence.
I want everyone to know that I'm listening, and I understand the concern that we are receiving from the community. The information that we have now, it does not say that it's racially motivated. That's still an active investigation. But as a chief of police, I do recognize the racial components of this case. I do recognize and understand the community's concern.
Yarl's aunt says her nephew loves music and is a section leader in his marching band. She says his goal is to attend Texas A&M University to study chemical engineering. Civil rights attorneys Lee Merritt and Benjamin Crump are representing the victim and his family and demanding swift action, and are calling the shooting horrendous and unjustifiable.
As a mother of 3 children, this enrages me.
And protesters gathering Sunday outside the home where Yarl was shot, demanding justice.
He is alive. He is healing. So I just want to tell you thank you for being here, because my nephew is alive.
Now, the homeowner was placed on a 24-hour hold. This is according to Missouri state law. The thing here is after those 24 hours, he either has to be charged or released. And prosecutors say they want more evidence. They want a further investigation. And that's why this homeowner was released. And it's also why so many people are so angry, Don.
Now, let's be clear. That 24-hour hold turned into less than 2 hours. That 24-hour hold turned into less than 2 hours. And yes, Michelle, I caught the verbiage also. A possible racial component, not even that it's a racial component, a possible. And you notice how, and that is the new police chief. So you get this real quick, we're still investigating. It hasn't been proven yet that there's anything racial, but it's a possible racial component. At the end of the day,
why you always lying?
Listen, they never release us to build a stronger case, KK Michelle. We always do the full 24 hours. Do you understand the words that are coming out of our mouth and more? So at the end of the day, this is the whole element of why the community. And now, did you all see a picture of the baby, Brother Yarl? That come on with the eye roll. Come on with the eye roll. Because at the end of the day, that child did not look threatening. That child did not look like he was about to, he had a stature that would overpower and cause this man to fear for life. I feared for my life. I'm so sick of I feared for my life. Those 5 words right there. for the racist community and for the popo operating inappropriately. I feared for my life. Those 5 words right there have wreaked all kinds of havoc on the black community with no answer, with no consequence, with nothing to go. I feared for my life justifies everything. Come on, Pastor Blissett. Damon Blissett in the room. That's my pastor. He is a YouTube streamer. And if you're not following Brother Damon Blissett, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because he will bless your life on Sunday mornings. So much mad love to you. Those 5 words right there. Come on. If you that scared, you don't need to be on the police force. I feared for my life. And for this man to say he looked at this young man and knew he couldn't overpower him. So you just start shooting. You just start shooting. And I see you, SK, and still not being charged with attempted murder, only aggravated assault. They gave him plenty of time to flee, Michelle. They did not release his name because they were scared someone was going to attack his tail. And at the end of the day, who comes to the door just because somebody rang a doorbell and starts shooting? That I feared for my life. I'm so sick of I feared for my life. Popo as well. We're sick of it. We're sick of it. Please hear the words coming out of my mouth. We're sick of it. If you that scared, what you doing? Now, at the end of the day, we can definitely identify the 2 scenarios that go on between black folk and white folks in this country. Racist white folks, because all white folks are not racist, but racist white folks. But even for the ones that are not racist, I want you to understand your privilege. What do you mean, STL? You still are afforded the privilege, even if you're not racist yourself. So take it in the Tennessee 3, she was not expelled because of the privilege. She may not be racist herself, but she still enjoys the privilege. And this is what I need for my white non-racist friends to get out there and get busy. Because if you understand your white skin gives you extra privilege, I need you to talk to your white racist brothers and sisters and say to them, none of us should have preferential treatment and privilege over somebody else just because the color of our skin. It's not right. And I need somebody to stand up and say it. I'm talking to white folks now. I'm not talking to black folks. I need white brothers and sisters that are not racist to stand up and tell your brethren and your sisterin it's not right. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? It's just not right. I don't care who's doing it. I don't care where it's coming from. So here we go. I want to share this. I have a few more clips I want to get in here, but I want to share this sincerely. Dr. Dady Priest, I think, put this in. And listen, you know, I don't just throw shade, I shed light. We talk about all of these issues because at the end of the day, we're building a new world that we want to see. We're building something that we want to be a part of. We're building something that we want to see manifest. And listen, it's going to take us to do it. Now, this right here, I want to come and the conversation while I touched on the Tennessee 3. Can I come here? While I touched on the Tennessee 3, let me just share this little tidbit right here because at the end of the day, they were caught and it was released out into the public what the conversation was. This right here, y'all. This is going to be lengthy. But it's okay. I want to play it in its entirety because I want you to hear the conversation. Disco Darren is in the room. Come on in here, Disco Darren 1966. He is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Disco Darren 1966, quit your wicked ways because he's going to bless your whole life. Come on. I'm 24 karat gold, LP 24 karat gold. Come on in here. Mad love to you as well. Love to everybody that's come in. I hope I haven't missed anybody in the room. Now, this I want to cover from the Tennessee 3 debacle. And this is the conversation. Somebody recorded it. Somebody recorded it between Zachary, Garrett, Sapicki, and Barrett and Lambert. They're mad for the individuals in their group that did not vote with them. Now, I want y'all to listen to this. I want y'all to get the full impact of this dastardly conversation. And listen, Sharon, listen. This is what our lawmakers, Mama, come on in here, Mama T-Nails, come on in here, mad love to you. I want y'all to listen to this dastardly conversation, because this, brothers and sisters, is what's going on behind closed doors in our legislature. You heard the words coming out. This is conversation that came out. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? So much mad love coming back to you, Mama T-Nails. Listen, this is a conversation that's coming in the chambers behind closed doors amongst these lawmakers. Now, I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to commentate while this is going forth, because I want y'all to hear this conversation. And you see the individuals that are involved. You see Zachary, you see Garrett, you see Sapicki, you see Barrett, you see Lambert, you see all of them. Now, this is what I'm going to do right here. Let me put this on pause. I want you to hold your horses right there. I want you to hear this conversation, y'all. Because they're mad at these folks because they did not vote unanimously the way they wanted them to vote. This is real live conversation between these lawmakers in Tennessee behind the Tennessee 3. Now, I want y'all to listen very intently and very closely to what these lawmakers are saying. Here we go.
My comments are not going to involve this Christ-like. I think now, more than ever, everyone should recognize that Democrats are not our friends. I listened for the last 3 days to Democrats, Sam McKenzie, Chisholm, Parkinson, trash us as racists. I've never had anybody call me a racist. And for the last 3 days, all I have heard from them is how this is the most racist place. One of these white supremacists. Good Lord, we have to realize they are not our friends. They can smile, and man, that doesn't mean I can't be polite to them, but they are not our friends. They destroy the Republic and the foundation of who we are, or we preserve it. That is the reality where we are right now. And if these last 3 days have not proven that, we need to find a new job. There has never been a more important time for us to be unified. There are 75 of us. Let them call their name of the names they're going to call them. We need to move forward. We need to pass the gun bill. We need to pass the pronoun bill, wherever Mark is. Man, we do not slow down because of their crap. We can't. The only way we move forward with some sort of unity is to call out what happened on the House floor the other night. Yes, sir. I feel like we were hung out to dry by a couple of members. And Jody, I'm just going to say it here because you signed the letter. You straight up came to me and said you were 100% where I was. And you went on the House floor and you did the opposite. Man, you hung us out to dry. And I like you personally. This is not personal. And if Brian Terry was here, I'd say the same thing to him. This would have been bad anyway, but dear God, we brought the racism into it because you didn't stay with us. But I need to know it. I don't want to hear one.
I'm going to stop this right here just for the purpose of, I hope y'all understand what's going on. So initially, he starts off with this angry dialogue that all Democrats, anybody that's called them racist, anybody that's called them white supremacists, they don't like you. They need to be and understand, when you call racist, they get mad. When you call racist, they get mad. So this is what he says. We're trying to rebuild our republic and they're tearing it down. So this is insanity. But now where he's getting ready to go, he's mad, and they're basically, if this isn't some really like mafia style, you didn't stand with us, we should have been 100%. Now they start calling out, of the 75 of them, as he pointed out, as now he starts ripping into the ones that didn't side with the rest of them. So now you got this behind the door pressure you got this behind the door attack that's being launched against the people that said this is not right. Now, the reasons why they say they did it is lame as well. But I want you to be fully aware of the dynamics of what's going on in this conversation. Now they're attacking those of their own party, those in the Republican Party that did not vote and sign with them. Now they turn away from the attack against the Democrats, and the rest of this conversation is going to be an argument against the Republicans that didn't bring them 100%, and they're about to get tongue lashed. Here we go.
There wasn't a preponderance of evidence, an attorney. I need to know why you flipped your vote at the last minute. You didn't let them know beforehand. Giving Johnny a 15-minute heads up doesn't cut it. And if Brian Terry was here, I want to hear from him too. I have to know.
We're going to kick the staff out. This is the place to say it. I haven't lied to anybody. Not one time. And it pisses me off to suggest that I have. And some of my friends in here suggested that I have.
Now, I want to make mention, if you caught that, he said, we kicked the staff out. I might scroll back just a little bit if you didn't hear that. He said, we kicked the staff out, and this is the place to say it. Now, that meaning they didn't want what they were saying to be overheard by others. So now they've kicked, so they got, whether they realize it or not, and I'm sure they realize it by now, they got somebody inside that's still like, y'all ain't right. And they recorded this conversation. Even though they kicked the staff out, somebody still recorded this dastardly conversation and it got leaked out. But y'all catch him when he says that. We kicked the staff out. Now this is the time to say it, because basically we getting ready to just go forth in here. And we've put everybody that could potentially say something or do something negatively against us. We've put them out. Now y'all just go for what you know and go for broke. And here we go. You know, I'm just like, child, please.
This would have been bad anyway, but good God, we brought the racism into it because you didn't stay with us. But I need to know, and I don't want to hear why there wasn't a preponderance of evidence, an attorney. I need to know why you flipped your vote at the last minute. You didn't let them know beforehand. Giving Johnny a 15-minute heads up doesn't cut it. And if Brian Terry was here, I want to hear from him too. I have to know.
We're going to kick the staff out. This is the place to say it. I haven't lied to anybody. Not one time. And it pisses me off to suggest that I have. And some of my friends in here suggested that I've lied. And that's bullcrap. I walked into that room to vote to expel all three of them, just like all of y'all. And the letter that I sent to the speaker, it says exactly what it says. Throw the book at it. Everything you've got. It doesn't say expulsion. It's not in there. But it doesn't matter. I was ready. But hold on. I was ready. I was walked into that room ready to vote before we ever started on Jones. I got a list of questions from Johnny Garrett. Johnny says, you're on the list that the speaker has to ask questions. Sat there through Jones, made notes. I went to Johnny and said, Johnny, can I go off script? Johnny says, yeah, go for it. Speaker never called him. We voted. I hit the green vote because that's what I'm there for. Then we get into the floor area, and immediately the questions start coming up about the resolution. I know what she did. I know what she did, broke the rules. And I know that she deserves to be expelled. We got to do it right. And that wasn't right. While this is going on, Reader came to my desk and said, hey, you think we're doing good? I said, no. We haven't established the case. Gino's had 2 cracks at her, and the only thing he's established is that she stood at the well. That's it. Didn't fix any of the problems with the resolution. He didn't establish that she'd been here 10 years or 12 years and knew the rules better than others did. Why were we still in session? Because we're in between bills. Why did you get gavelled out of order? Because the speaker had to get order. Was disorderly conduct and caused chaos in this whole place. That line of questioning is exactly what I told the leader I needed to ask, because we don't have it right now. He didn't sit there and say, you need to vote yes anyway. He didn't whip my vote. He walked off. He didn't go to the speaker and tell the speaker to call on him. So if you're
Now, did y'all hear him say, he didn't whip my vote? He didn't whip, W-H-I-P. And that's what the whips do. If you're not familiar with how process works within the legislature, you'll have people that are whips that when you hear them talk about the whip, that's basically what they do. They whip the individuals within their party to vote the way that they want them and whip, not a literal thing, but basically they're there to flip you. If you're not in agreement with us, we're going to whip you. We're going to work with you. We're going to explain to you. We're going to expound to you why you need to be with us in this voting process. And he said, I told the leader that they still had not established. And that's the only thing he's saying, is that they did not establish. He wasn't saying he didn't agree with getting rid or anything else. He felt like they had not established their case, and he could not, on the basis of that not being established, he couldn't just give them an automatic based on what they wanted him to do. But then he said, but he didn't, when I told him I didn't feel like it was established, what did he say? He did not whip my vote. In other words, he said he didn't whip my vote. He just turned and walked off, which meant he didn't apply pressure. That's what the whip is going to do. He did not apply pressure for me to vote with everybody else. He just turned and walked away. He then assumes that from that turning and walking away without applying pressure to him to vote the way that the party was voting, that he was not being whipped and he was free to vote whatever way he wanted to vote. I want y'all to understand the process that's going on here. So he's basically saying, y'all didn't present a solid case, and they did not. You all did not present a solid case. Good morning, Mike Larry. So much mad love to you. Welcome to the Lion's Den, and it's good to see you here. DJ P-Foo is in the room. DJ P-Foo is a streamer. If you're not following DJ P-Foo, quit your wicked ways, because DJ P-Foo is my guy. That's my brother, and I love me some him. So much mad love to you. So at the end of listen, that's why we calling them whips, because they're going to pressure you. They're going to talk with you. They're going to try to persuade you to go with whatever the will of the party is. That's why they're called the whip. So at the end of the day, Luciana 1908, good morning to you. Mad love to you, and welcome into the Lion's Den. My Lock Journey, this is some House of Cards all day long. Anybody that has not seen that series, you got to go back and see it, because it's an excellent series, and it really does address so much of what goes on in the political arena. And you can see how all these different pieces work. And of course, they also, with that story, that's supposedly fictional, talk about how much corruption there is in the governmental system. So listen, this is some House of Cards on steroids, My Lock Journey. This is some House of Cards on steroids. So they're going after this brother. And as he said, he didn't whip WHIP. He didn't whip me. He didn't try to persuade me. He didn't try to explain. He didn't come back and give the reasons why. He just turned and walked away. Because you can't explain when you ain't got anything to back up what you're trying to do. You have nothing to pull that back with. So now I'm going to stop, because we're not even halfway through. I may share more of that later on. This conversation is out there in my Discord, and I'm telling you, it's pitiful. It is woeful. And if you go out and listen to this conversation, and again, this is an attack on those that did not vote the way the 75 Republicans wanted them to vote in to get 100%. Now, I'm not being partisan here. Don't think that I'm trying to do this to present one party over another. This whole thing is a reality and a revealing of what everything that revolved around the Tennessee 3, it addresses that, and it shows this conversation. And I'm telling you, they get heated out here. And it's almost like, to me, it's a fear tactic that's taken for those that did not vote the way they wanted them to vote. This conversation, to me, highlights how, you know what, you're going to get that negative energy if you don't flow like the status quo wants you to flow. If you don't vote like the status quo wants you to vote, we're going to deal with you behind closed doors, which is why they put the staff out. because they really wanted the opportunity to say and do everything they wanted to say to those individuals that did not vote the way they wanted them to vote. And then again, to come with their racist rhetoric. So at the end of the day, I'm going to invite you all to go out there, look at that. I'm not even halfway through. This discourse is 9 minutes and 47 seconds. I've only played you 3 minutes and 43 seconds of it. So you get the idea of what's going on here. But this is what took place behind the Tennessee 3. And I don't know who snuck this recording out and got it into the public, but here it is, bold, live, and in living color. I encourage y'all to go out there and listen to it because it's most revealing the mindset of these legislators that have been voted into office. It's just dastardly. It's just dastardly. And at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you the way I feel about it. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Oh, baby, it ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Please believe it. They're intimidating. That's exactly what they're doing, SK 8843. They've pulled these individuals that did not vote the way they wanted them to vote, and they're now intimidating them. So it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And it's not a matter of what the country is coming to. It's a matter of what's been here the whole time. What is happening, though, is it's being revealed and it's being manifested, and folks are uncomfortable. Folks are very uncomfortable. So I want to come here. I think Tall Pumps sent me something, and I do want to share. This is going on in North Carolina, y'all. So in North Carolina, they just got a brand new police chief. This is some sad stuff. I'm going to roll this real quickly, and then we're going to talk some more. But here we go. I want y'all to hear again. This is in North Carolina, where we had police officers, veteran police officers, just out here overtly and openly talking racist crap. And at the end of the day, this is what we got for the popo. Let's go.
Story. Tonight, 3 Wilmington, North Carolina police officers have been fired after a routine audit of a patrol car camera uncovered what authorities describe as extremely racist comments toward African Americans. Here's CBS's Jeff Begays.
An internal probe by the Wilmington Police Department reveals hate-filled conversations with 3 veteran officers. Officer Kevin Piner is heard telling Corporal Jesse Moore that the protest would soon lead to a civil war and that he is ready. He goes on to tell Moore that he was going to buy a new assault rifle and soon we are just going to go out and start slaughtering them expletive N-words. Piner says a civil war is needed to wipe them off the expletive map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations. Later, during a phone call with Piner, Moore refers to a woman he arrested as the N-word and says she needed a bullet in her head right then. Donnie Williams is the department's new police chief. He fired the officers on his first day.
When you talk about killing people and generations of people, that is disturbing.
According to investigators, the officers blame their comments on the stress of today's climate in law enforcement. CBS News has reached out to the police union and the 3 officers for comment. So far, they haven't responded. Jeff Begays, CBS News, Washington.
We turn now to this story. Tonight, 3 Wilmington, North Carolina police officers have been fired after a routine audit of a patrol car camera uncovered what authorities describe as extremely racist comments toward African Americans. Here's CBS's Jeff Begays.
An internal probe by the Wilmington Police Department reveals hate-filled conversations with 3 veteran officers. Officer Kevin Piner is heard telling Corporal Jesse Moore that the protest would soon lead to a civil war and that he is ready. He goes on to tell Moore that he was going to buy a new assault rifle and soon we are just going to go out and start slaughtering them expletive N-words. Piner says a civil war is needed to wipe them off the expletive map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations. Later, during a phone call with Piner, Moore refers to a woman he arrested as the N-word and says she needed a bullet in her head right then. Donnie Williams is the department's new police chief. He fired the officers on his first day.
When you talk about killing people and generations of people, That is disturbing.
According to investigators, the officers blame their comments on the stress of today's climate in law enforcement. CBS News has reached out to the police union and the 3 officers for comment. So far, they haven't responded. Jeff Begays, CBS News, Washington.
We turn out.
The stress of the law enforcement environment. The stress, that's what we're blaming it on. The stress of the law enforcement environment. But I have another take. Could it be? The devil? Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Now, let me say this. And this is quite interesting to me. They felt comfortable and very complacent, very relaxed to have this recorded conversation that they know is being recorded by the police department. Now, this to me speaks to the culture of the police department. You're having this kind of conversation that you know is being recorded. Thank you so much for liking the stream, Lavinia Christine. Nothing but mad love to you this morning, sis. And I also see someone else came in the room this morning. Let me scroll around and see who came. Papa Tips, Papa Tippett, come on, please. I appreciate you. Okay. I think I saw another vision on what that is. But anyway, good morning to you, Pop. At the end of the day, I appreciate you, and I'm honey. I got my eyes on you. Now, listen. I just want to say, when you have exactly, Dr. Dady, exactly. When I looked at it, I looked at it the second time. When you have this kind of conversation that's going on in recordings, but you don't feel stressed that something's going to happen to you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to address the culture. When you have this kind of conversation, I appreciate you all. I think my mod's going to get them. My mod's going to get it. At the end of the day, when you have this kind of conversation and you feel absolutely positively comfortable to have this conversation, knowing full well that you're being recorded, that speaks to the overall culture. That speaks to the overall culture of the situation. And so at the end of the day, I feel y'all ready. Y'all done called for Block a Whole Ministry. I hear y'all talking. At the end of the day, it speaks to the entire culture that you feel absolutely comfortable having this conversation over radio, over video, and you don't care. At the end of the day, what does that say about the culture? You assumed nothing was going to happen to you. Secondly, let me come here. That's a new police chief that just came into office. So the new police chief and the old police chief, why? I'm not the old police chief. I don't know if they started the process or whatever. But at the end of the day, why did it take the new police chief to fire these individuals? Why were they not fired before? So at the end of the day, the culture is polluted and contaminated, and folks need to deal with that. The culture. Now, these folks, I'm talking about veteran and ranked staff having this kind of conversation, and you out here talking about having a revolution and killing generations of black folks, and you're the law enforcement. You're the law enforcement, and you're having a freely open conversation about starting a civil war and killing generations. Well, that'll set them back 4 or 5 generations. What? No, listen. No. That's real talk. And you cannot tell me that the stress of the current law enforcement environment has you talking that way. You didn't know.
Why you always lying?
Quit lying. At the end of the day.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself that you felt you could be on a recorded line and carry on this racist rhetoric and this murderous homicidal attitude and think nothing was going to happen to you. That's all I'm saying, SK. The department culture obviously permits this kind of racism. Otherwise, they would not have done it the way they did, where they knew it was being recorded, but felt absolutely comfortable and confident that nothing was going to happen to them. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And so this game that we keep wanting to play, that racism is not an issue in this country. Listen, I'm going to respond to that, and I'm going to utilize something that truck driver sent to me. And let me forewarn you, there is language in it. So anybody that's saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost and fire baptized, and you can't hear no cuss words, turn the volume down till you see the picture leave. But listen, I'm going to tell you what, at the end of the day, well, you know what? This is speaking. I hear you, Disco Darren. But listen, everybody in my stream, let me come here, Disco Darren. Everybody in my stream is not black. Thank God. This is not a black stream. I have every ethnicity in this stream. I have educators at colleges in this stream. I have people that have direct influence over students in this stream. So the Disco, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, because at the end of the day, y'all going after and chasing all these folk, and you know, get who you can in your streams. I'm going after the folk that can make a difference. So please hear me when I say I've got professors, white professors in this stream that teach history, that teach different elements of, and they have access to the people that I'm trying to make a change to. So I'm not preaching to the choir. Y'all preaching to the choir that only want black folks in your stream and only want Twitchers on your stream. Yeah, that's y'all preaching to the choir. I'm talking to some other folk that I know are in here that watch my stream and participate on a regular, and I talk with them offline and we have conversation about how to change the world. So I'm not gonna. No, I'm in my lane. I'm in my lane. So I'm talking to the folks that I'm talking to, and they're hearing me, and they're taking action, and they're moving. So don't assume everybody in here is black. Don't assume everybody in here does not have power. Don't assume everybody in my stream doesn't have some level of authority, because I got some of everything in here. Now, I'm just going to tell you. So I'm preaching to the right folk. So I appreciate that, but you're wrong. I got the folks in here that need to hear what I'm saying, and he that hath an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. But this is not a black stream, and there's some people in here that have the power to make a change. I'm talking to them. So I'm talking to the right folks. Now, listen, let me get back on. So this right here, I want y'all, truck driver sent this to me. It's got some language, y'all. So understand that. And again, that's what I said, Michelle. Anybody saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost and can't hear this, go ahead and turn your volume off till you don't see the picture up here anymore, because this man's gonna cuss, but this man is telling the truth. He's telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. So I want y'all to get a little taste of his truth, because he's surely telling it. And I love the fact that it's a white brother telling the truth. I love the fact that he doesn't bite his tongue in telling the truth. And whether or not he's got expletives in it or not, listen, what he's saying is the real truth. Here we go.
A white buddy of mine today said, you know, Dixon, not everything's about race, man. Right, buddy? I told him, I said, it ain't never been about race. Because, you know, I found out that about 95% of these school shootings is by white people. Almost all of them is done by white people, and there's been hundreds of them now. Hundreds of mass shootings all around the country. But imagine if it was brown and black folks that were shooting up in white schools. But, yeah, that wouldn't make any difference, right? He said, well, of course not, Dixon. That ain't gonna make no damn difference in gun control. It's the Second Amendment. And I said, yeah, it's funny, though, in 1968, they had the Black Panthers with AK-47s and whatnot and assault rifles, and they were arming themselves. And by God, the first time they passed common sense gun laws, I mean, they banned the fucking assault rifle. All this amazing shit happened. But, yeah, you're right. If it was black and brown people shooting up white schools, well, no, that wouldn't make any difference. I said, you know what? You're right, buddy. It ain't about race. That's why they want to ban CRT, because we ain't got no real racism in our history. That's why they want to ban wokeism and ban racial consciousness, because there ain't no racism here. There never was. From slavery to assassination, Abraham Lincoln, MLK to Jim Crow, man, it ain't never been about race, and it never will be. And that's why they got all that legislation to stop black books and to ban and criminalize black books and black history, because it ain't never been about race, none of it. And we're supposed to just sweep it under the carpet and not talk about it. We're supposed to normalize denying and gaslighting white supremacy, because that's the goddamn motherfucking American way, right, buddy? But this time he was getting pretty red in the face. I don't know why, but I'm just saying it's not about race, right? The KKK in Tennessee, founded in Pulaski, Tennessee, was never about race. Those 3 state representatives, 2 of them being expelled today, and the white one not being expelled for the exact same behavior, not about race. You're right. Nothing in America is about race, and that's why they're fighting so hard to not talk about race. Because if we don't talk about it, we'll never fix it. And the system and the culture of white supremacy will keep right on shining throughout the land. And in reality, that's what you want, my friend. The one who says, not everything's about race. You're right. Not everything's about race in the mind of a white person. But if you're not white, every fucking thing is about race. But to talk about it as a white person makes you uncomfortable, makes you have to face your own fucking immorality, your own fucking inhumanity. Wow. Can you imagine that as a white person, having to face your own immorality and inhumanity? That's too much. You should just be able to sweep it on the carpet, keep the system alive, continue to benefit, have privileges. That's what it's all about, right? You're right. That's how white supremacy works. And that's why it'll never be fixed until you get uncomfortable and face the fucking truth as white people. Let's just say we're probably no longer friends.
And I feel, now listen, I'm trying to tell you, my brothers and my sisters, I feel like I wants to run that again, because this brother this brother right here told some truths. He told some serious truths, and I want to let it run once more and again for the people in the back. Because when I tell you, no lies detected fairly. Hello, Mike Larry. Come on, Crystal Method. I'm gonna play it once more and again for the people in the back. And Disco Darren, no offense taken, no apology needed. I appreciate you, my brother. It is very frustrating, and it does seem like it falls on deaf ears. I get it, but I'm telling you, we cannot become tired with crying loud and sparing not. We cannot become tired and feel like it's falling on deaf ears and nobody's listening. We cannot, as I said, and this, I'm saying this not just as a statement. There are college professors that I engage with that are in and watch these streams that have direct influence on college campuses and universities that I know personally that are listening to these streams. And I've got to say it and thank God for them, because they're teaching it And I love it. I love it. I love it. I for those purposes I will continue to cry loud and spare not. And I love the fact, again, for those that may not be showing their faces, they may not be talking in here in the chat, but they talk with me on the telephone. I want to give it up for those professors at some major universities that are out here listening to my stream, and they're taking this information back to their classrooms. My sisters can tell you I'm not lying. For those that don't know about the organization that I started back in 2020 called Not Afraid to Speak, NATS, NATS. NATS is an organization that we began during the time of George Floyd and all of the foolishness that went on with that. And I had these professors that came to me, and we are still working in concert. We plan to make a difference. We plan to make a difference. So this is not falling on deaf ears. There are, and these professors are white college professors that are not racist, that are really committed to making a difference and making change in this country. You hear me always talk about Heather Cox Richardson. Y'all go out there and follow her. Go out there and follow her. This sister is doing something. I could name some other folks as well, but there are individuals out here that we have a direct access and pipeline to and through. We're making a difference. Don't ever feel like, because listen, that's why I tell y'all, we're building something. Let's listen to this brother one more time, because he's speaking truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Today said, Dixon, not everything's about race, man. Right, buddy? I told him, I said, it ain't never been about race. Because, I found out that about 95% of these school shootings is by white people. Almost all of them is done by white people, and there's been hundreds of them now. Hundreds of mass shootings all around the country. But imagine if it was brown and black folks that were shooting up in white schools. But, that wouldn't make any difference, right? He said, well, of course not, Dixon. That ain't gonna make no damn difference in gun control. It's the Second Amendment. And I said, yeah, it's funny though, in 1968, they had the Black Panthers with AK-47s and whatnot and assault rifles, and they were arming themselves. And by God, the first time they passed common sense gun laws, I mean, they banned the fucking assault rifle. All this amazing shit happened. But yeah, you're right. If it was black and brown people shooting up white schools, well, no, that wouldn't make any difference. I said, you know what? You're right, buddy. It ain't about race. That's why they want to ban CRT, because we ain't got no real racism in our history. That's why they want to ban wokeism and ban racial consciousness, because there ain't no racism here. There never was. From slavery to assassination, Abraham Lincoln, MLK to Jim Crow, man, it ain't never been about race, and it never will be. And that's why they got all that legislation to stop black books and to ban and criminalize black books and black history, because it ain't never been about race, none of it. And we're supposed to just sweep it under the carpet and not talk about it. We're supposed to normalize denying and gaslighting white supremacy, because that's the goddamn motherfucking American way, right, buddy? But this time he was getting pretty red in the face. I don't know why, but I'm just saying, it's not about race, right? The KKK in Tennessee, founded in Pulaski, Tennessee, was never about race. Those 3 state representatives, 2 of them being expelled today, and the white one not being expelled for the exact same behavior, not about race. You're right. Nothing in America is about race, and that's why they're fighting so hard to not talk about race. Because if we don't talk about it, we'll never fix it. And the system and the culture of white supremacy will keep right on shining throughout the land. And in reality, that's what you want, my friend. The one who says, not everything's about race. You're right. Not everything's about race in the mind of a white person. But if you're not white, every fucking thing is about race. But to talk about it as a white person makes you uncomfortable, makes you have to face your own fucking immorality, your own fucking inhumanity. Wow. Can you imagine that as a white person, having to face your own immorality and inhumanity? That's too much. You should just be able to sweep it under the carpet, keep the system alive, continue to benefit, have privileges. That's what it's all about, right? You're right. That's how white supremacy works. And that's why it'll never be fixed until you get uncomfortable and face the fucking truth as white people. Let's just say we're probably no longer friends.
And there you have it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. And once more and again, Truck is all about the truth, baby. Thank you for sending that to me, my brother, and nothing but mad love to you. I appreciate you. Now, everything is about race, Yoshi-san. Everything is about race. Now, I'm going to say this because I'm going to go ahead and take this detour with my brother Disco Darren, and I don't feel in any way, shape, or form that it's off track. I love you, my brother. I absolutely do. And let's just stop and talk a minute for the reality that many times we can get tired. I will say, even for myself in the last couple of days, and so I'm just going to be a transparent moment. There are things that challenge us to the core that can cause us to really feel tired. That's real talk. And so I want to say this not only to streamers, but to people that on your jobs. If you're tired on your job, put a 1 in the chat. You know, we ain't going to tell nobody. Y'all know how we do it in the Lion's Den. Everything here is confidential. We love each other. It's supportive. It's encouraging. If you tired of your job, put a 1 in the chat. I mean, I'm just talking real talk here. So at the end of the day, and you may feel like, oh, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to expose myself out here with my employer, because the employers do go on y'all's channels, and so I get it if you definitely don't have the ability to put that 1 in the chat, but you want to. At the end of the day, there are times where we get weary, and rest is necessary. And I'm gonna tell you what. I had to go to a place in a space where I just had to do turn the phone off, literally turn the phone off, lay down and get in the bed, because rest is necessary. Listen, Fairly said, I just cuss them out and move forth. just saying, I got you, Fairly. Sometimes that throat chakra needs to be opened up so you can speak. I do want to speak to the fatigue, because at the end of the day, this is why we have to stick together. Come on, Crystal Method. On those days that someone else can take up the mantle. You know, the story that they used to say, he's not heavy, he's my brother. She's not heavy, she's my sister. There come those days where you have to be support. I think Fairly all day, one day, I don't remember when, it seems fairly recent, but I go through everybody's stuff. Anyway, don't forget to check on your strong friends. There is that place with everybody. And Disco Darren, I'm just going to stop right now and just love on you. I'm just going to stop right now and the Lion's Den. I don't necessarily see this as a I want attention plot employ, because people do that as well. And there are times that, but I feel like it needs to be addressed and it needs to be approached, that we understand. And especially for my non-white or my non-black friends, I need you to understand the weariness that black people have to go through, the weariness that we have to go through on a daily, the weariness that we experience and just keep on pushing in spite of the weariness. And the way we have created this within the fabric of the American culture, black folks can wake up weary based on what we had to deal with last night and the foolishness I had to deal with before I closed my eyes and went to sleep, and then get up in the morning and be weary and start with the foolishness all over again. We get weary. And so I feel that this time to just love on each other here in the Lion's Den, this time for us to understand that even within the challenges and the struggles of what we're doing. Oh, yeah, man, I see DK. Thank you for those roaring biddies. We're building something. Ronzi, thank you for those roaring biddies. We're building something. Tall Pumps, thank you for those roaring biddies. We're building something. I'm sorry, I did not mean to overlook you. And I just saw that flashing at me. But I want us to understand we get weary. And to even say I'm tired, we almost have built it into our lives, where to the point of exhaustion. Prince Jacob, Mr. Rebuttal, come on. I appreciate you for being in the Lion's Den. And yes, to the point of exhaustion, we get weary. And I need us to, you bite your tongue all the time. Oh, you don't bite your tongue. I got you. Z Lady C, you don't bite your tongue at all. And I think this is part of what we need to address. Please believe it. You're tired, frustrated. We're sick of this stuff, and it's heartbreaking. It absolutely is. Tall Pumps, I see you talking. Michelle, I see you. I see you talking. Dr. Dady, thank you for the love. We love you, Disco Darren. Come on, SK. We do, Rebel. We do, Crystal Method. Come on, give my brother the love. We really need to check on our strong friends. Had to reach out to the one that was really going through. Love on them. We got to do that fairly all day. And we can't continue to just assume, oh, you know, it's just a moment. They'll get over it, this and that and the other. I had an extensive conversation with someone on yesterday about suicide. I mean, an extensive conversation about suicide on just yesterday. And this is why, and what precipitated it, foolishness that we're dealing with in a racist situation on the job, and at the absolute worst time to have to deal with it. And at the end of the day, at a time that you would think people would be supportive as you're going through grief, you'd think people would be supportive as you're going through traumas that are happening in your personal lives, and folks want to come at you with some foolishness. And we deal with this on a regular. And as we deal with this on a regular, it does cause people. Z Lady C, thank you for that resub, my sister. We're building something. Please hear me when I say we're building something. And let me just stop on that for just a second. And again, I'm gonna come back to the being fatigued and tired, because it is tiring. When you hear me say we're building something, I'm serious about that. When I shared, and again, my sisters can tell you, I'm not just making up stuff to blow up, blow smoke and say da 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 da. I don't talk a lot about the different things that I'm moving and the ways that I'm going, because some of it is still in process and still in progress. So I'm not out here putting it out there into general public consumption. However, when I say we're building something, I mean that, even to the extent of Not Afraid to Speak. That organization, again, birthed out of the George Floyd dilemma in 2020, and had a college professor at a very profound college in the area come to me, a very astute university, call me on the phone and say, hey, I've got a group of friends and we're concerned and we want to help make the change, but we don't necessarily know all the directions to go, and we don't necessarily know all the issues and all of the, and so have been building in partnership with them. She actually has Not Afraid to Speak as a part of her college curriculum, and has taken it to the admin, and we are working in concert, still laboring to put some pieces in place, because it is a long journey. It is a lot to put together. What we do here every morning in the Lion's Den is a part of what I feel my mission and my call is to be. And what's my mission statement? To deconstruct the walls between the sacred and the secular, because we can't just do it on the secular side, but we've got to do it on the sacred side as well. And we've got to deconstruct those walls that make one be on the other side of the other. We've got to bring all of this together so that we can have change. We're talking about building something, but we're talking about moving in a new way, in a new space, with a new mindset, to topple down all of this energy. When we're exposing all of these different stories that we bring, it's not because we want to sit up and stir up, oh, we're just fanning the flames, and what are you actually doing to actually make a difference? Baby, we back here working. When I say we're building something, we're attempting to build something. But even in the midst of that, you still have to deal with those that are tired and keeping them motivated, and those that don't believe you're going to do it anyhow. And then the naysayers that just back here bumping their gums just because they're going to bump their gums and blow a lot of hot air. So it does become a weight. It does become somewhat of a burden from time to time. That is like, you keep hearing these same stories over and over again. All I can do is put in a different name, but it's the same story over and over again. It's from city to city, from place to place, but it's the same story over and over again for Black people especially. And we're tired. We're tired. We're sick and tired of it. We are sick and tired of it. And this part right here, I'm gonna go back to what Fairly All Day, and who was the other person? I think it was Z Lady C, is that we as Black people, and hear me when I say this, we've got to unstop our throat chakra. We've got to release our voices. And that, I'm going to say right here, can become so much of the burden that makes us weary. So much of the burden that makes us tired, because we've been taught not to say anything. We've been taught to be invisible. We've been to shut up and dribble. We've been taught, that's been indoctrinated in us. We've been taught to step off the sidewalk to let our white predecessors pass by. We've been taught, don't look them in the eyes because you're not worthy. We've been taught all of this. And you're like, well, we ain't teaching that. Yes, we are. None of that has changed. The Tennessee 3, the way that legislator, that individual talked to Brother Pearson and Brother Jones, like he he just wanted to say boy. He wanted to say boy. Boy was all down in his shondo. Boy was all down in his energy. Boy was all down in his heart. Boy was all down in his comments. You don't know why you're here, and you don't recognize how this chamber operates in the well, and The boy was all over that man. So at the end of the day, we still have this that we have to deal with on the regular. And so it's, listen, babies, we're tired. We're tired. But this, even what I do on this stream on a daily, I come and I show up. It doesn't matter how tired I am. I'm tired too, Disco. I'm tired too. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop talking. I'm not going to talk. Now, there are times we need to kick back and rest. Please believe that. There are times we need to just shut it down and shut it off and let it reset and reboot. And even last night, like I told you, I just turned my phone off at some point, just turn the phone off and just completely shut down so I can shut down and reboot because we're tired. So again, my life journey, let us not become weary in well doing, because we will reap if we don't faint. So this right here, at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. Come on, preach that word. SK, yes, a professor who educates other PhD students. And this is my sister, SK8843, because she's very aware of this project that I'm working with and working through Not Afraid to Speak in NATS. So when I say I'm building something, I'm not just saying that to talk money out of y'all's pockets. I'm not saying that to talk support for STL, for Regina. I'm not on some kind of ego tripping, make me feel good. Let me be the streamer. When people say my name, they know listen, that's not my agenda. That's not my itinerary. And I do recognize there are a lot of people on Twitch. There are a lot of people out here on the internet, on these social media platforms. They're trying to make a name for themselves and they're trying to become successful. They're doing all kinds of tricks and dips and everything else to try and make that happen. I'm here because I believe that we can make the change, and I believe in this. So as let me go back and catch what SK8843. We have a professor who educates other PhD students and professors, and that's the truth. That's the truth. I haven't divulged all of that to you all in mass, but that's the truth. I am working with a PhD professor who trains and teaches other PhD students and professors. We do have active allies. We do. And maybe I just needed to stop and say that today because it looks like we're preaching to the choir. I get it. And Disco, if my response back to you seemed like a personal attack in any way, my apologies for that, because that was not my intent. But I'm just identifying you've got things going on. We've got things going on behind the scenes that people don't see and people don't know. I don't come in here tooting my horn and what all I'm doing. You know, and I'm gonna tell you, I've really become wearied, even on Twitch. You know, folks will say, I'm not trying to do this for me. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I can smell that a mile away. I can see it a mile away. You have a whole nother agenda that's all about you. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm not going to waste my time coming in the stream when you're not even going to be honest enough with yourself to say, I really want to build this. Say what you want to build, but don't get out here lying and saying, this ain't what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to. No, quit lying. Quit lying. And it's nothing wrong that you want to build something, but quit lying about it. I'm not going to come in here and say, you know, XYZ, we're building something, because no. Keep it real. But what I'm about and what I'm trying to build is about the community. I'm not trying to, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to blow up and do this and that and the other. But when y'all, the quickest way to lose STL, when y'all start lying and coming out here, like, you know, we learned this in the black community from the preachers. I ain't trying to be, yes, you are. So at the end of the day, just be honest with yourself and let us help you build in honesty. But as long as you're going to be out here lying, you're not going to get my support. You're going to get my love. You're going to get my energy. You're going to get my whatever. You're not going to get my support. Quit lying. I need you to tell the truth about what it is that you want to do. Now, I'm not on here coming on every day saying I got a PhD that I'm working with and she teaches other PhD students and and we're working in concert. I have not shared what we do, Disco Darren, what we do right here in the Lion's Den. It may seem minuscule to others. That's why, listen to me, streamers. That's why, come on, I would love for you to help Disco because I need all the help that I can. That's why I say we're building something. We're built to thy own self be true, fairly. To thine own self be true. That's why when I say I'm building something, we're building something. That's not a catchphrase and a catch line to get y'all to, oh, that's my cue. Let me give some more. That's my cue. Let me do this. That's my cue. Let me do that. I'm telling you, we're building something. I'm holding it close and near to my heart and under wraps until I can actually get everything positioned where it needs to be positioned. But let me just stop today and say, let me just put this out here because I do understand the fatigue and the tiring nature of it all when it looks like nothing is happening. The Lion's Den ain't about bumping gums and blowing hot air. The Lion's Den is building something. Please believe that. That's why we're here. I want to say to that PhD professor, she listens to the stream as she's walking. She doesn't necessarily come in and chat with us in the chat. But when she goes on her daily walk, what does she listen to in her headphones? She listens and watches the Lion's Den. And that's what she does on her daily walk. Then she goes back to her class and she's instituting, she's implementing, she's developing. Listen, y'all, despise not the day of small things. That's why, let me come here just for a second. I don't worry about who's in the Lion's Den and how many people aren't here and who doesn't show up. I don't care what. Listen, I know there's some folks bumping their gums about me right now behind my back. I don't care because at the end of the day, I know who I am and I know what I'm about. I want you as streamers to get that same energy because listen, while y'all trying to get numbers, I'm trying to get change. While y'all trying to get follows and subs, I'm trying to get a community for black people that actually brings us to a place of dignity. We are dignified people already, but I want the world to respect us. I want the world to acknowledge us. I want the world to, so y'all trying to get this stuff for yourselves in your little individual world. I'm serious about getting what really matters. I'm really serious about, listen, I want us to change this world and we can be the change. It's not just a matter of, oh, this sounds good. Let me say this in my outro. This sounds good. Let me say this to get more people to follow. I don't care a bit more about that. I do care about us as black people. I care about black people coming out from under the subjugation of white supremacy and racism in this country. And it takes work to do that. It takes commitment to do that. It takes stamina to do that. Yes, and it takes money to do that. So, you know, yes, can I just be real? So at the end of the day, you know, sometimes you go out here and you look, man, some of the stuff that y'all give, man, y'all be like, ooh, 100 subs, 100 this and 100 that, and all of these, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, y'all done carried on the utmost of foolishness that's not gonna help one thing. Now, at the same time, I'm saying, do what you do it, but understand, I recognize, and I said, can I be transparent today? I look at that and I'm like, I see y'all out here just knocking it out of the park over foolishness. And we over here trying to build something and we can't get 10 cents. So I understand the fatigue, and it's not, please don't read that in as, you know, she's trying to backdoor ask me for some money. No, I'm not. Because if you don't feel Anyway, just let me let that go. But at the end of the day, I look at the things that we support, even in our black community. And I'm like, there are things out here in the black community, even on Twitch, that will help build us. And we rather run to the foolishness and support that with every dime that's in our pocket. And you sit over here and it's like, or even with just your presence. I look, and this is why I said, and I'm saying this to some streamers need to hear what I'm saying, because some of y'all, you get that sense, and this is not my issue. So please don't get it confused. You know, STL said she was pushing today. It ain't about this, because this kind of stuff, honey, I don't care about numbers, honey. I don't care. All it takes is one, and one person can change the world. I believe that with all my heart. So at the end of the day, but I'm looking and I'm saying, but I look at the stuff that y'all support. I look at the things that you show up for. I look at the things that you fund. I look at the things that you go after. And it says to me already, your mind ain't ready. Your mind ain't right. Your mind's not focused. So, I see what you're focused in, and the stuff that you're focused in is not going to help the black community. The stuff that you're focused in is not going to change the black community. The the things that you're caught up in are not going to give us a better world. Y'all, what are we doing? And why are we doing it? So this whole element, and then when we get to the end of it all, we wonder why those leaders that are out there trying to make the change, why are we tired? Why are we tired? Because at the end of the day, and I want to say thank you to all of you that come in here and support the Lion's Den. I mean that with my whole heart. When I talk about the algorithm is pushing us up in giving us broader broadband bandwidth. But it's not because I look over here and I don't look at my numbers. I really don't. But it's not because I look over here and say, 37 people in my stream today. 37 people, and that's in Twitch. I don't have the other numbers, don't figure in, but 37 people in my Twitch today. Do y'all know I've been doing this for 2 years? And I got 37 people in my stream today in Twitch. Do you understand the words that come out? If it was about the numbers, babies, I would have been gone a long time ago. If it was about the numbers, I would have been gone a long time ago. It's not about the numbers. But what do the numbers tell me? What I'm talking about is not of interest to the people. I said what I said, and I'm going to say it again. What I'm talking about is not of interest to the people, because we enjoy the entertainment of foolishness. We enjoy the entertainment of music. It's nothing wrong with music. I love all of that. We enjoy the entertainment of things that do not require something of us. Hear what I'm saying. We enjoy the entertainment of something that doesn't require anything of us. And so when we begin to come into places and spaces that say, be the change. Don't just talk about change. It's easy to bump your gums, but be the change. But then I see the continuation of the behavior that got us here. I see the continuation of slavery mentality. I'm talking real talk in here today, because I'm addressing Disco Darren why we're tired. I'm addressing why we're tired. So at the end of the day, we see where your interests lie. We see where your energy goes, and it's not necessarily for the betterment of our people. So this part right here becomes wearying. This part right here makes us tired. This part, because it's like at the end of the day, and I'm going to say to those of you all that are out here doing what you do, keep right on pushing. Do not stop because of what you see. Do not stop because of what you hear. Do not stop because it's not garnering the response and the support that you rightfully deserve, that you rightfully really should be getting, because you understand we've got to prepare the people's hearts first. But let me tell you what I'm doing in the Lion's Den, and this I'm going to say to each one of you: stay the course, Dr. Dady, stay the course. Let me say me say this. Right now, let me tell you what's happening in the Lion's Den. For those of you all that keep coming in, for those of you all that keep pushing into this platform on a regular, you guys are the leaders of this movement. I'm going to say this once more and again. You guys that keep coming in, you all that still, you find the interest, you find the energy. Go ahead and understand it right now. You are the leaders of the movement. Everybody is not a leader. Hear me when I say this. There's so many in the black community. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this because I am a liberation theologist. We've taught and trained not only in our educational system, we've taught you to be good followers. But then when you come to church, we've also taught you to be good followers. We don't teach you how to be leadership. We don't want you as leadership, because the more people that move into leadership, the more leaders that begin to come and manifest, the less power and control I have. And when I see you as a competitor, when I see you as somebody that I'm competing against, I do not want you to get the knowledge. I do not want you to get the position. I do not want you to get the functionality. I want to keep you in a level as a follower. I want to keep you in the position as a consumer. I want to keep you in a position as somebody that's doing the giving and I'm doing the receiving. But we cannot get to where we want to have the changes that we need to see until we get more people to understand I've got to step up to the plate and I've got to do what I've got to do. It's not just contingent on me being a follower. I have the power to lead. I have the call to lead. I have the responsibility to lead. I have the anointing to lead. And I need y'all to wake up and start leading and becoming those that become life changers. I need you to start waking up and beginning to step out and say, I'm going to take this bull by the horns because we've had this bull long enough. I need you to rise up and begin saying, I'm not just going to rest on my laurels and look and wait for everybody else to do it. And then I'm going to jump in the flow and just flow down the river. You know, y'all going to push the cart up the hill, but I'm going to catch it on the other side and ride down the hill. We don't need more people like that. We need people that will push this cart up the hill. We need people that will be transformed. We need people that will make the difference. We need people that will be uncomfortable. We need people that won't just rely on being made entertained. Entertain me. No, I need folks to get up and work. Am I talking to anybody? I need people that will get up and work. I said what I said. I said what I said. So this part, Disco Darren, we're tired. We're tired of seeing the same things. We're tired of having this conversation. And if that energy, because rage is energy. Please hear me when I say this. Rage is energy. If you're allowing all of this rage that you feel to come into your body, into your mind, into your emotions, if you're allowing all of this rage to come into your presence, into your essence, into your being, if you're allowing all of this rage that you say you feel about all these injustices, if you allow all of this rage to fill you and you do nothing, yes, you, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. If you allow all of this rage to fill you and you do nothing with that energy, you do nothing with that rage, you too are part of the problem. I said what I said and I'll add to it before I take it back. You too. If you're so, I'm so angry, I'm so mad, and you sitting and resting on your laurels, you're part of the problem too. You're just happy being mad. You're just happy being enraged. You're just happy being fed up with it. What are you doing? What have you done? And this is what I'm going to say. The frequency. What frequency you are on is how frequently you do a thing. Frequency is exactly what it means. How frequently are you doing something? How frequently are you doing something? How frequently are you doing something? I'm going to ask it again. How frequently are you doing something? And some of y'all going to have to admit and acknowledge to yourselves, my frequency is very low. My frequency is very low. And I'm vibrating very low. And when you got leaders out here vibrating high, when you got leaders out here with a high frequency, and then every time you turn around, there's nobody there. Baby, we's tired. We's tired. I see you. Well, I see you, KK. We's tired. We's tired. We's tired. You're not going to get jailed and in prison, Disco Darren. We got you, sir. We got you. And this is the thing that makes us want to catch a case. I said what I said. This is what makes us want to catch a case. When we get tired and we just feel like this ain't working, I need to go another. But I'm going to say this to you, Disco Darren. If you didn't hear anything else in what that racist police officer said over that radio broadcast, we need to start a civil war. That's what they want. Hear me, y'all. The racist folk want to start a civil war. First and foremost, y'all don't have weapons to match against these folks. They've been stockpiling these weapons for years. They've been modifying them to make automatic weapons out of them. They've been stockpiling on the artillery. I'm telling y'all, that is not the direction that black folks want to go. Y'all want to get your anger up. You want to get your ire up. You want to get the nicks on the back of your head standing up. That's not the way y'all want to go. That's not the way y'all want to go. The way we have always won against racism, think. Use your heads. That is the way we have always won against racism. We have outwitted those jokers. Do y'all hear me talking? Do you hear? Listen, this is a mama lion talking to my baby lions. We have always won against racism by using our heads. We have always outwitted the racist enemy. Because if the truth be told, the folks that are racist is dumb as a box of rocks. I said what I said, and I'll add to further. I don't care if they got PhDs. I don't care if they got this and that and the other behind their name. The racist folk are dumb as a box of rocks. Intellect is the most viable weapon, in my opinion, Dr. Dady. Use our heads, number one. And number two, we need to come together and unify. Am I talking to anybody? This is a real Lion's Den today. And I know I'm way over time. I don't even care. Rebel ain't on today, so I'm not worried about going to Rebel. We gonna go wherever we go when we get finished. But at the end of the day, we talking up in here. This is the Lion's Den. Because listen, I'm listening to lions that are suicidal. I'm listening to lions that are ready to catch a case and go to jail. I'm listening to lions. No! Listen, can I get some help? We can't come in day after day and keep having these same conversations without activating and doing something. I understand. And that's what I'm saying to you all. Even behind the scenes, it may look like nothing's happening. But some of us are out here trying to push this thing. We're trying to push this cart up the hill. We're trying to push this cart up the hill. We're not trying. We're doing it. But please believe me when I say we're tired. Darren, we're tired. We're tired. We tired. We are tired. And so this is a day, I feel, as we start this week, obviously God wants us to activate. We've been talking about it. We've been bumping our gums. It's time to put our money where our mouths are, so to speak. It's time for us to step up to the plate. It's time for us to get busy. Come on, Yoshi son. We tired of being tired. We've got to take control. Let this trigger retreat and turn into action. Come on. Let that trigger retreat. Let it turn into action for us. Each one of us has a role to play that fortifies the movement. This is what the Lion's Den is about. This is what the Lion's Den is for. This is why I get up every morning, that I come in here on Saturdays. When I come in, on Sunday mornings when I come in, baby, I'm not, listen, I know some of y'all want a name. I know some of y'all want notoriety. I know some of y'all I just want to go where everybody knows my name. Y'all been singing the song from Cheers for years and years and years. But baby, if that's all you're looking for in a reward, if that's what you're chasing, you chasing the wrong stuff, baby. You are chasing the wrong stuff. I hear you, Darren. It's like pushing a cart up an oil-covered hill and you're tired. I get it. I get it, my brother. I get it. I get it. Please believe me. Listen, yesterday I had to do an assessment on myself, and I'm gonna tell what God loves. You'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied chasing after that. I've seen people that have, and I don't do a lot of talking about that, but so many of the folks that y'all want to be like, I've been around those people and they're sad, they're tired, they sick of y'all. I'm gonna say what God loves. They sick of y'all. Every time they turn around, can I get an autograph? Can I this? Can I that? They tired, but they got to act like they love you because that's how they get paid. I said what I said and I told the truth. They got to act like they love you because that's how they get paid. They can't tell y'all how much y'all getting on their nerves and how sick of y'all they are. They can't say that. They got to look like they love every second of it. They got to look like they love every last one of y'all to come up and say, can I get your autograph? No, I'm sick of you. I don't want to sign another piece of paper, another napkin, but they do it. And y'all chasing that. Y'all chasing. You don't even know what you're chasing. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. I've ridden in all their cars, and listen, at the end of the day, it's still a car. Yes, some of them are magnificent. I enjoy riding them. I've gone to the places to eat. At the end of the day, you put on your panties and your drawers just like they do. And they are so over it, Fairly. They are so over it. And y'all just chasing it, trying to get it. But yet and still, the black community is in bondage. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yet and still, at the end of the day, black people are still in misery. At the end of the day, honey, Tasha and the rest of the girls is over there fighting. Y'all trying to get that notoriety and that money, and they over there fighting, and who owns the name and who's doing this. And y'all, we chasing the wrong stuff. We're just chasing the wrong things. So this is the place where we come in the Lion's Den to hopefully empower you to ascribe to something higher than that. There's so much higher than that. But then at the same time, as I said, you know, I sit and I assessed myself, you know, and I look and I'm like, you know, Lord, I definitely have chosen the road less traveled. Anybody that you know you're traveling the road less traveled, put a 1 in the chat because I want to talk to you right here. Any of you all that know you're traveling the road less traveled, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat because I just need to talk to you real quick. You know you march to the beat of a different drummer and you know that you're following the road less traveled. Put a 1 in the chat because I just need to talk to you for a second. I just really need to talk to you for a second. Because this is real talk. Alone for all this time thinking no one cared about us collectively, the Lion's Den does. Come on, I appreciate you for being locked in because I care about you. I really do. Fairly, I see you. Come on in here. Yoshi's son, Dr. Dady, DJ Rollum, Mama T Nails. Come on in here. Miss Robin, I got you. Prince at the Pen Show. I see you. Lady T, KK, Tall Pump, Z Lady C, My Lock Journey, Baby Dolly calls me. Now, this is what I want to say to you, Queen Shauna. I want to say to all of you in the one, the rest of y'all just here, but I'm talking to the ones in the chat. We're on that road less traveled, and that road less traveled seems to be least lucrative and productive. Hear me when I'm saying this. It seems to be the least lucrative and the least productive. And I want to say to you, because so many times we look out at the people that take that normal path, if I can call it that. And at some points in time, it almost becomes torture to see how, oh no, Disco Darren, you didn't disrupt anything. You're good. You're all good. Listen, because apparently this is the journey that the Lord wanted us to take today, and we here. But I want you to understand that at the end of the day, we are different. We're not like everybody else, and we are leaders. Honey 41, I see you. We are leaders. And the one thing that happens, and when I say leaders, I'm saying we are the trailblazers. We are the trendsetters. We are the ones that make the change. We are the ones that tilt the scale back the other direction. Hear me when I say that. Crystal Method, I see you. And yes, many of us live way below our means. Come on. And this is what I want to say to us. This walk can feel lonely. There are times the persecution is overwhelming, yet we continue to sojourn. And that's what I call you all, the students in class. We're sojourners. We're sojourners today. Baby doll, he calls me. I see you. My like journey. Come on here. I see you all. This is what I want us to understand. Now, please hear me when I say it's getting, yeah. I felt it right there. It's getting ready to turn. 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 We've got the secret sauce. Come on. And we're all here for the reasons that God placed us here. This is the place that's hardest for us. Come on, Mama T. This is why the Lord has us go in this direction. And for that, I want to thank Disco Darren, because he's the one that shifted my trajectory, because I was going to go a whole nother direction. So again, Disco Darren, thank you for just being Disco Darren, because you shifted this direction. Come on. It's the shift that's taking place. And understand when you're breaking the pull of gravity, that's the time it gets the hottest. That's the time when the heat gets the most intense, when you're breaking the pull of gravity before you go out into outer space, into weightlessness. Let me tell you this. We are going into weightlessness. This weight that we've been carrying, this weight that we've been designated to have, this weight that we have been bold enough to boldly go where no man and woman has gone before. It has been a weight. Don't you fool yourselves. And we're not going to lie to one another and say, oh, it wasn't heavy. Yes, baby. Yes, babies. Yes, babies. It was heavy. Come on, you can cry. Come on, you can cry, Miss Robin, because I'm talking to the ones in the chat. I'm talking to y'all this morning because I need to talk to y'all. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to us. It's been heavy. Listen, we've had our own familiar friends that have turned on us. To the folks I'm talking to in the chat, you know what I'm saying. It was our own familiar friend that went out. We've been the ones that have boldly gone out there where no man would gone before. We've taken the no salary. We've taken the cut in salary. We've taken the while everybody else is excelling and everybody else seems like they're blowing up and going up, we still out here being true to this strange call that we've been called to. We still out here carrying this unusual anointing that's on us. We out here doing all of the things that really destiny has called us to. And we just keep looking at all the people and the things that are going up and blowing up. And it's like, Lord, how long am I going to be here? How long is this going to go on? How long? And even for those that have come and find yourselves in a position, and I had to walk through that journey some time ago. I thank God for graduating from there. But listen, for those that have that space and place where you almost despise the anointing that's on you. You almost despise, God, why did you give this to me? You almost despise, you almost feel like, Lord Jesus, you can give this to somebody else. You almost have this place of feeling like, why? I just don't understand why. And then every time I turn around, it's another thing. And before I can end that, it's another thing. And before I can end that, it's another thing. And before I can end that, it's another thing. And at the end of the day, as I said to my sister on yesterday, even as we talked through and understood suicide, even as we understood that sense of I'm ready to give in, I'm ready to throw in the towel, I'm just done, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Every last one of you that put this one in the chat, I know you know I'm telling the truth. We have come to that place and we've relived it and relived it and relived it and relived it. And at the end of the day, it's like, Lord, when is this going to change? And as you get to that place of recognizing, I told her, I said, I always, even as early in my ministry, the Lord gave me what I call the rubber band analogy. And I've heard pieces of it. Different people try to pick it up and run with it. But I want you to hear the rubber band analogy God gave to me was for me. And I just share it with people. Understand that when you take a rubber band and you stretch it, see yourself as that rubber band, and God has stretched you before you could finish this thing, another thing. Honey, the servant came running to Job and said, listen, all your children are dead. All your cattle are dead. The servant just kept running. The servant just wouldn't stop. And some of you all have had that in your lives where the servant just keeps running. The messenger just keeps coming with more news and more news and more news. But I'm telling you, all of those are nothing more than stretches to you as a rubber band. And at the end of the day, the stretching of the rubber band is not for your breaking. It's not for your destruction. The stretching of the rubber band, hear me when I say this, is for velocity. The stretching of the stretching of the rubber band is for velocity. Hear me when I say this. The stretching of the rubber band is for velocity. I'm going to say it once more and again because it's going to be a quick work. It's going to happen in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. You shall be changed. The purpose for the stretching, the purpose for the stretching, the purpose for the stretching is for velocity. For you will be changed, and it's going to hit you in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Am I talking to anybody? Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. It hasn't even entered into your heart the good things that God has prepared for you because you love him. Even when things weren't going your way, you still loved him. Even when things were hard, you still loved him. Even when you cried at night by yourself, you still loved him. Even when your own familiar friend went out and lied, you still loved him. Even when it seemed like you were ready to throw in the towel and quit this whole entire journey, you still loved him. Hey, man. Woo, am I talking to anybody in here? Because while man is looking on the outward appearance, God knew your heart. While man is judging and talking about you like a dog with two tails, God knew your heart. While people were walking off and leaving and deserting you, God knew your heart. Woo. And so hear me. Back to the rubber band. The purpose of the stretching is for velocity, for speed. Do you hear me? Because it's going to be a quick work. For every action, hear me when I say this, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction. Honey, one of the basic laws of physics. For every action, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For some of us that have been so low, the Spirit says you're getting ready to go so high. And so once more and again, let me come back to the rubber band. That stretching was for velocity. You've been low for a long time, but you're going to be high, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Do you hear me? Because when you release that stretched rubber band, the velocity is increased. When you release that stretched rubber band, that stretched to its ultimate maximum, just to the point of breaking. Am I talking to anybody? Just to the point of breaking. Just at the point of giving up. God orders a release. God orders your release. And at that optimum maximum of your stretch, therein lies your velocity. Hear me when I say it. Be not weary in well doing. You're going to reap. And though you've been stretched to the point of pain, do you know they used to do that and use that as a torture in ancient days? They put people on a machine and stretch. And can you imagine the pain? And y'all know the pain because you've been stretched. We've been stretched. We've been stretched. Sometimes it would feel, just go ahead and kill me. Just stop the torture. Just go ahead and kill me. Just stop the torture. We've been stretched. We've been stretched. And we've been stretched. But hear me when I say, no weapon formed against you can prosper. That God will never put on you more than you can bear. And there is no situation that God has brought us to that he has not brought us through. Do y'all hear me talking? There's no situation that God has brought us to that he has not brought us through. In the same way he's been faithful to you every single time. When has he lied to you? Not once. When has he deserted you? Not once. When has he not healed your body? Not once. So that you can remember, so that you can retain exactly what it is. When we get out here, come on, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. When you hit, and this, can I say this? Because God knew that you could be trusted. Some folks are like, why didn't, honey, because they couldn't be trusted. But God knew he could trust you. Did we make a perfect 100? No, ma'am, no, sir. But God knew our heart. He knew that even if we failed the test, that the overall, listen, I didn't flunk the grade. I still graduated. Do you hear me? At the end of the day, God knew your heart. And let me tell you, God knows that when you come into this place of elevation, you will still be able to be trusted. Some people can be trusted in the low places, but they cannot be trusted in the high places. And I know what I'm talking about. Some people can be trusted in the low places, but they cannot be trusted in the high places. Some of you have to understand that all of those victories that you won, all of those victories that you came through, all of those challenges that you refused to throw in the towel and just kept right on going. God knows that being tested in those low places, he can trust you in the high places. You've been faithful over a few things. Now you're about ready to become ruler over many. Am I talking to anybody today? You've been faithful over a few things. Now you will be ruler over many. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. You've been faithful over a few things. Now you are about to be ruler over many. Come on, T. Summers. I see you, sis. And this is why we cannot be weary in well doing. We do get tired. I know it, but we can't faint. We cannot. We will not. And if we have to do CPR on Disco Darren and anybody else that's at the point of, I'm about to lose it. Listen, we've been trained in CPR. We've been trained in CPR. We've been trained it. We can bring you back. Because we're not losing. And hear me when I say this. each one of you that put a 1 in that chat. Come on here, stirs the soul. We might fall, but we not gonna falter. We trained for this, Michelle. We trained for it. Woo! I'm telling you, we trained for this. Those hard places prepared you and equipped you just for this. I'm going to say this the same way my mother used to say, because listen, my mother did not believe in wasting food. She and her family literally went through a place where they didn't have food to eat. We talking about putting some grease on your lips to keep them from cracking in your belly, swollen. I'm talking about, I don't have a point of reference to what my mother's family went through in their leanness. But she didn't believe in wasting any food, especially any. Come on, we gonna resusc you, baby. We gonna resusc you. I want you to understand, Disco, I love you, man. We gonna resusc you, man. We gonna, whatever you need, the refreshing is here for you from your fellow lions. We love you, man. We love you. Thank you for that resub, Yolanda Oil. We're building something. I appreciate you. And this is what I want you to understand. Come on, you better pray. I thank you, Father, for our stamina and our fight. We are resilient people and a royal priesthood. You better talk to me, sis. You better talk my life journey. You better speak it. As my mother used to say, she was not going to throw food away. You just not in my mother's house. You just couldn't do it. Food had been too much of a valuable commodity that they didn't have growing up. And you surely were not going to waste a piece of meat. If something else hit the ground, maybe. But a piece of meat, And my mother would tell you in a minute, that piece of meat, it just stumbled. It didn't fall. Pick it up and wash it off. You're going to eat that meat. Some of y'all can't relate to that. My mother said, we ain't wasting not a piece of meat. No, ma'am. No, we're not really going to waste anything if we can, but we surely ain't going to waste a piece of meat. I'm trying to tell you, Michelle, I'm telling you fairly that mama didn't play. Baby, that meat landed on its feet. Mama, I'm telling you, Anna Marie Askew Stillman, God rest her beautiful soul. My mother said, you shall not throw a piece of meat away in this house. It just stumbled. It didn't fall. Pick it up and wash it off. And I'm telling you, I have learned. Listen, Mama T, she meant that thing. She wasn't playing, Queen Shauna. You hear me? 3-second rule. And I don't care. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You gonna wash that piece of meat off and eat it. I just, if it was meat. And this is what I'm saying to y'all. This is what I'm saying to y'all. You got to understand, you just stumbled. You didn't fall. Did that meat hit the ground? It absolutely did. Might it have laid there longer than 10 seconds? It absolutely might have. But in my mother's eyes, in Anna Marie Askew Stillman's eyes, it just stumbled. It didn't fall. And I want you all to understand that about your lives and about your experiences. Even if you're that piece of meat laid out prostrate on the ground, I just had to stop and think between prostrate and prostate. Okay. Even if you're that piece of meat laid out, you just stumbled, you didn't fall. Pick it up and wash it off. Once more and again, you just stumbled, you didn't fall. Pick it up, wash it off. Let's keep going. I love y'all. Now, obviously, if I had to think between prostrate and prostate, it's time for me to quit. If I had to think between prostrate and prostate, it's time. Every stumble ain't a fall, stirs the soul. You better preach, baby. Every stumble is not a fall. The anointing has lifted. Michelle, DJ Roland, if I had to think between prostrate and prostate, the anointing has lifted. And that's my time to shut up. Baby doll, he calls me. I love y'all. We have gone almost a full hour over. I'm not even going to apologize because this is the Lord's doing and it's marvelous in our eyes. It's time, Fairly. It's time. Now, I love you guys. I absolutely positively do. All of my ones in the chat, you will reap and we're not going to let you faint. I love you, DJ Roland. I love you. Yoshi son, I love you. Mama T, I love you. Listen, and they do say prostate. Oh, my life journey. All of the ones in the chat. I just had to stop and speak to y'all for a minute because I get it. You've been waiting since last week for this. Come on, Yoshi son. I love you. I love you so much. I do. And there's so much in you. I want you to go forth with might, with power, and know that my love and my support is 100% with you. 100% with every last one of you. So listen, the Dusty Sun side piece is lurking. Come on, Dr. Dady. Baby doll, Aki calls me. I love you. I love you, Queen Shauna, Yoshi Sun, Tall Pumps. I love y'all. I love y'all. And to everybody else that's in the stream, you may not have put a 1 in the chat. You may have, this whole last hour may not have applied to you, but you listened anyway. I love you as well. Thank you for being here, and thank you for holding space with us. Come on, meat for the soul is meat for our souls. We need each other. And I'm telling you, not one of you am I going to nobody is going to pluck y'all out of the lion's den hands. Nobody is going to pluck y'all out of the lion's den's hands. Disco Darren, thank you for just being you. I love me some you, and we got you, brother. We got you. And so listen, you might as well, we got you. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. We got you, man. And we got some work to do. Now, with that being said, as I said earlier, there's so many things that we're putting in place, and we are building something. And to everybody that comes in and listens, to everybody that comes in and supports, to everybody that gives and subscribes, I appreciate you. I really, really do, because we're building something. My life journey, ma'am, I love you, sis. I love you so much. Thank you for it. Listen, and I always pray it's not in vain, my life journey. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's interesting that you would say that. This is how God works for me. When I think different things, and usually things come to me in songs because I love music. A lot of the things that God speaks to me, when I move, you move, just like that. God brings songs to me, and that's my key. Last night, my cue is my living in vain. And that was just resoundingly in my spirit, is my living in vain. Not suicidal, not in any way, shape or form. But I have been suicidal. For all those that know me, you know, I went through several years where I was suicidal. Not suicidal, not any of that. But it's just like, sometimes you just step back and say, man, is this in vain? You know? So it's not a surprise to me, my life journey, that you responded with just those words, because that was my song last night, and you cued it right on cue this morning. It's not in vain. And I know that. Disco Darren, I know that. I know that energy that says I'm tired. So don't listen. You're not the only one, which is why I felt like I needed to be transparent today. You're not the only one. But as my life journey echoed of the word that was given to me on yesterday, it's not all in vain, because up the road is eternal gain. I love y'all, and it's time to get out of here. Listen, this has been another edition of Yes You All Cube One-on-One. It's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. This has been, oh my God, this has been a fabulous day. This has been a glorious day. This has been a real day, a transparent day. Thanks to Disco Darren 1966. I want to appreciate you, my brother. I want to appreciate you for your transparency that put us into ours. Now, listen, that's the way we do it in the Lion's Den. And I appreciate all of those that came and followed, those that came and went, those that couldn't stay. Listen, I appreciate you on today. I want you to follow me. I'm out here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, and more, y'all. I'm out here, and I love you. Those that are following me on those platforms, you all are making such a difference on the algorithm side. I just cannot thank you enough. Now listen, this is all about not just talking about change, but we have come that we might be the change that we want to see. And we're not in this alone. Disco, you're not in this alone, because it's us, you, me, we all. We're all in this thing together, y'all. We loving on each other together. We're lions together, and we're waking up other lions together. And we have no fear in doing this, because at the end of the day, we got power, we got love, we got a sound mind. We don't have a spirit of fear. We are all powerful in love. Please, please, please believe it. Now listen, we're getting ready to go to somebody else's channel. I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Get your stuff and gather it up. Thank you for the support. Tall Pumps, Ronzi, DK. Thank you for those horn biddies. Come on, Luciana, 1908. Thank you, SK, Michelle, Z Lady C, Yolanda. Thank you all for those resubs. I appreciate every last one of you. We're building something. We're building something. This music is brought to us by courtesy and approval of Regina K. Sims. Won't be this way always. If you don't have it, I want you to go out and get it. It's going to bless your whole life. I love me some you, Regina. Now the raid train is moving. Get on board, get on board, get on board, because we're going somewhere, and I want you to go with us. Come go with us. We will do you good. Now listen to everybody that has come, to everybody that has talked or not talked. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friends on today. I always say it like my mod say, have an amazing day on purpose. Do what you love what you do. Peace for your journey.